if we could see what Paul George did, with 7:43 left in the third quarter, this is where Paul George has a good game statistically, but this is pandemic P. This is to tie the game. Is that open?
Yeah.
Is that an open dunk?
Well, Skip, you remember last year, the game 7, he missed a couple of layups.
Okay. That's not a layup. That's a dunk.
Right.
You just got to dunk it. I get that there's a hand on the ball for a second, but you just got to go up and just go strong and dunk the ball. That took the life out of the Clippers, who quickly fell over the next 3 minutes down by 11. So that's the first pandemic P sighting. And then in the second half, finally, Marcus Morris snapped out of his skunk funk that he's been in. And all of a sudden, he makes a couple of threes. And I look up, and it's a 5-point game. And I'm thinking, okay, here we go. And Luka misses again in the fourth quarter. If we could see this sequence, Luka was missing like crazy in the fourth quarter. And he tries a little crazy shot and almost missed the rim as usual, and comes right back down. And Paul George says, I got this. I got this. And you don't got this, because it's short. It's like there's no ball movement. He just said, I'm going to go solo and shoot this. That's to cut it to 2 right there.
But see, you remember opening night? When he was doing those exact same plays, there was no ball movement, but he was making those shots. Yeah. And everybody said, well, PG is back. Skip, it doesn't matter all that. Luka is averaging 35, 8, and 9 in this series. They can't contain him.
Yeah, I can live with Luka last night. It didn't bother me a bit. Look what he shot from 3. You like that?
Skip.
He made 5, which is rare for him. He's a 33% career free throw.
Skip.
3-point shooter. Yeah.
You have to understand, at one point, he was 5 of 9. You look at what he did in the first half.
How about 5 of 13? I can live with that.
He ended up 5 of 13, but they shot 67% in the first half. They shot 10 of 15 from the 3 in the first half. You keep talking about the fourth quarter, but what are you guys doing? You guys are trying to play catch-up come fourth quarter, because they've driven the nail in your head in the third quarter.
They did.
They outscored you 30 to 19 in the third quarter. So now you're playing catch-up, but down the stretch, he made every right play. Found Tim Hardaway Jr., wide open 3. Found Porzingis with a dunk that basically finished the game. Skip, your problem is not offense, because if you look at your numbers, you mentioned it. You made 13. You made almost 40% from your 3. You made 54%. Shot 90 from the free throw line. Your defense, you can't stop them. You just said they were a middle of the pack. They were poorest in every statistical category.
Below average.
Okay.
They were 18th in 3-point shooting.
With that being said, how in the hell they at the top of the charts right now come playoff time against you with all those great defenders on the team?
In 2 games, they have made 35 of 73s. That's 50% for a team that actually shot 36% during the regular season. Luka, if we could look at Luka, he shot 35% during the regular season. And if you look at his body of work, this is 3 years for Baby Bird, the guy you compared to one of the great shooters in the history of this game, Larry Bird, one of your favorite players.
Yes.
This is Luka. As a rookie, he made 32%. Second year, 31.6. This year, 35%. That averages out to 33%.
He moving on up.
That ranks 269th over the last 3 years of 3-point shooting. 269th, and he's doing that to the Clippers in those 2 games. Because he's playing angry, because he's saying, oh, you wanted us, you got us.
Skip, he does so many. If you just look at him and says, well, he's not a great 3-point shooter, or he's not a great free throw shooter, he's a great basketball player. His IQ is off the chart. He knows he can get anything that he wants. Me and Jim put together, I was staying up late last night because I couldn't sleep, and we put together a little package. Jim, you got that package little Baby Bird was doing last night? Because look at this, Skip. Look at this.
No, I think I've already seen it. Oh, you know what? It took all his might to get up to dunk.
Wham! That's on Kawhi.
That was his
Look at this, Skip. That's a 1-footer on the break in your mug, Kawhi. Yeah, look at Luka. Look at that. They can't do that with me. Oh, this Pat Bev. Oh, you're too small. I keep telling you, unless you grew overnight to 6'8", you're too small, Pat Bev.
Look at this. It takes all his might to get up to dunk it with one hand. Way to go. Way to go.
What about this, Skip?
That's a good shot. All of his fadeaway step backs, they're good. I give you those. He can do that. He's not a good 3-point shooter, but any mid-range, fall away, step back, he's got that.
The thing is with him, Skip, he's not really shooting wide open threes. He's shooting that step back like James Harden. So those are tougher shots. But if you look at all the other guys, you look at Hardaway Jr., you look at Finney-Smith, you look at all the other guys that's shooting threes, ain't no hand in their face. It's like they're standing up on the basket hoping to get the rebound. Well, you're going to get it out the rim and take it out because that's what you're going to do. But if you look at Luka is taking threes, they're very contested. Everybody else, they're getting wide open looks at the basket. Skip, look, I understand that everybody's not a great player, but it's probably 6 to 7 guys. If you leave them wide open at the three-point line in the NBA, they're going to knock that shot down.
Okay, I will give you this. I'm not at all disappointed in my Clippers' offensive productivity so far. It's been pretty to very good.
Yes!
But I am stunned and devastated over how little effort they're playing defense. And it's not just on Luka, it's on everybody else. It's like they sleepwalk on defense. They're so much better than that. And
Are they?
I've always admired Tim Hardaway Jr. You want to talk about form shooting threes?
Yeah.
By the way, just the last that we cut it to 4 at the end of the game, and there's like a minute 12 left, and they come right back down, and guess who? The designated killer. That was Terrence Mann on a little lob dunk or layup, and then Luka comes right back down and says, "Oh, well, I'll take that. I'll take that."
Get the ball to the...
Hardaway does it again, and that qualified as one of your open threes, right?
Skip, you know how his daddy was. His daddy was like that.
And look at this. It's like I think, okay, maybe there's a chance here. You're down 4. Luka goes first inside,
post,
kick it right back out, and he just drains it, and everything is just bottom of the net.
Skip.
And what beautiful form. He is a really pure three-point shooter.
What they did, they inserted him back into the starting lineup. Remember, at one point in time, Skip, during the season, they had him coming off the bench. That really doesn't suit his game. I understand the production that he gives you, the spark that he provides, but they inserted him back into the starting lineup. But your guys, the problem that you guys have, you have Kawhi, you have PG, you have Pat Bev and Serge Ibaka. Skip, their defense is on reputation only. Skip, those guys hadn't been good defensive players in a very long time. This is a reputation situation. This is how somebody else, well, he used to be like that. Even though the guy's changed, his reputation precedes him. Kawhi Leonard's reputation precedes him. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. Pat Bev was on the all-defensive team. Serge Ibaka has led the league in blocks. Paul George is a great two-way player, but their reputation precedes them. They're not that now, Skip. You see it, and I've been telling you this all along. You don't want to see it, but now you got an opportunity to see it last night. You saw it up close and personal. They're not those defensive stoppers they once were.
I've been telling you all along, over the last 6 weeks of the season, they ranked 2nd overall in defensive efficiency because they were getting serious on defense. And then for whatever reason, maybe they did think the Mavericks were going to just lay down and die for them. They quit. There was no urgency or energy on defense. It was all on the offensive end. I will give you that. You got me dead to rights. They're dead in the water. Now they have to go to Dallas, and I do not love their chances. I don't love their chances of winning either game. So I like Dallas's chances of sweeping this series. I am declaring it publicly. It smells like a sweep to me.
Well, Skip, you better buckle down on the defensive end. You better do that.
That's just pride. Yeah, that's just guts.
Thank you. Because Skip, I mean, there's really no score in the box score. Okay, block shots. But the offense, you shot this, you were 50% from the 3. You were 60% from the field. Those guys look at those numbers, but you got to stop Luka. Somehow, Skip, you got to get the ball out of Luka's hand. If Luka come past half court, y'all need to trap him. Hey, force him to a corner and trap him. Because if you do not get the ball out of his hand, Skip, y'all can't beat him. Because he can do whatever he wants. If you go single, he killing Kawhi, he getting to the rim on Paul George. Pat Bev is just too small. I know Pat Bev is well-intended, but he's just too small, Skip. A great big man is going to be the great small man all the time.
Speaking of Patrick Beverley, brings Ty Lue into the equation because you know how big a fan I am of playoff Rondo. And I was out of my mind last night when Rondo played about 19 minutes and Patrick Beverley played over 23 minutes. That's just wrong because they were running much more smoothly with Rondo. I'll take Rondo over Pat Bev any day or night.
You taking me in there, huh? But you know who? The most responsible for this? Doc Rivers. Mm-hmm. Because Doc Rivers.
Somewhere he was chuckling.
No, because it's because he's the offense. You know, he's running all these pin downs and flares, and we needed guys with basketball IQ. That's what Kawhi said. We need basketball IQ.
Yep.
So Doc Rivers got right across the coals. Now I want to know whose fault is it that they're playing like this currently?
Theirs.
Oh, okay. It was their fault all along. But Doc Rivers got scapegoated. But I tell you what, if you don't start playing better defense, Skip, you're not winning. Skip, if you let a team shoot 59% from the floor and 53% from the three-point line, who you beating? And they were, just think of, Skip, if you think about this, they shot damn near as good from the three as they did from the free throw line. Let that sink in for just a second.
Well, I did shoot as well.
They shot 54%, 54.2 versus 53.
Yeah, your man Luka, Baby Bird. It's such blasphemy you even make that comparison. He was 2 of 7 from the free throw line. Larry Bird was a dead-eye 90% free throw shooter. This guy can't shoot. He can't shoot.
Skip.
He can't shoot. You keep saying Baby Bird.
We got to keep it interesting.
You look foolish.
We got to keep it interesting because if he'd have made all his free throws, the game would have been over in the third quarter. So we got to keep because everybody's watching the Lakers anyway. First and foremost, they watching the Lakers.
Boy, according to my Twitter last night, they were watching the Clippers because I think Laker Nation, they want the Clippers to lose even more than they want the Lakers to win.
We don't worry about you.
Trust me.
We don't worry about you.
You're worried.
Because we upstairs shining our golden balls. We got 17, so that takes us like 2 hours while y'all downstairs looking at the division title banners.
Right now, we're not even downstairs. We're on the road. And we may have to stay on the road permanently.
Get out.
Yeah, we have been evicted from Staples.
Skip, I hate to break it to you. I think they may have been watching the Clippers
Unpaid rent.
to see how you'd handle today.